everybody.
Welcome.
To How Do You Say Yarrows?
Hey, welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on a walk with us.
Yeah, if you're on the podcast, you might notice our audio sounds a little different today, and that's because we're walking. If you're on YouTube watching us, then obviously you see we are breaking from our normal format. And we're taking a walk today. We were strolling through an undisclosed park.
You want to know why?
Why?
Why we're taking a deviation?
Why are we doing a deviation? How do we have time to do something like this?
Because of COVID-19.
Dun, dun, dun.
And the coronavirus.
Corona.
Should I say
virus.
equals both? They are the same, by the way. They're the same.
No, they're different.
Oh, are they different?
Coronavirus opens up to the disease of COVID-19.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Technicalities matter.
Anyway, that's why we're walking. And why are we walking? That's because usually we do this driving, but guess what? We have nowhere to drive to. We're not allowed to go anywhere.
Except we went to the park.
Well, yeah, okay. But so usually we do our podcast, our chatty chats, whilst driving somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Because we need a long distance and we kind of get through some topics. And literally the only places I've driven this week, because, okay, so now it's
Oh, yeah.
It's been how many days since COVID shut everything down?
This was your first week.
This is my first full week. So as of last Friday, today is now Sunday, that's when, obviously we've been hearing about it for a while, but that's when, it kind of, the first, shutdown of things started happening in New Jersey, right? So, anyway, been a first full week, and the only places I've driven include, where? Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
The only places include my parents' house, which is awesome that I can go there. And that's it. Oh, and I went to CVS to pick up my medicine. Yeah, we'll go right. I went to CVS to pick up my medicine. I've driven back home. And that's it.
Wow, that was literally
So my car I got it on full because obviously everyone was like, we need to have gas in our cars.
It's good advice. Don't ignore it.
I filled up last maybe Sunday. Yeah, today's Sunday. And I've been watching my gas tank and it's pretty great. I am one tiny tick down.
Oh gosh. Good. I was wondering where you were in gas. Inversely, my week was extremely normal, except I probably stopped to get gas 3 times this week compared to my normal, but now to state shut, things are looking like they might be changing up a little bit, so it's all exciting.
So today we're going to talk about this topic, this fine topic of
the coronavirus.
The corona.
And COVID-19 and some thoughts, and it's been kind of escalating for the last 2 weeks or so here.
Yeah.
Although it's been around for a long time at this point, but
yes.
We're just kind of giving our thoughts of, and this week will be different because I'm home as well from work.
Right.
So, but initial thoughts.
Right, initial thoughts. We thought about not talking. We thought about waiting for this topic until the end. But
the
then
end? That sounds scary.
No, when it's all done. Hopefully.
When we're all done.
No.
Gotcha.
So when this whole thing is done and it's all hindsight 2020, we thought about waiting until that point, but...
Ooh, so you're thinking it's going to be all of 2020?
No, definitely not.
But you said hindsight 2020, so are we thinking 2021, 2022?
2020. In 2020, it'll be done.
Excellent. December 31st.
And then, but then we didn't want to do that because, we thought maybe it would be more interesting to document our thoughts on it now.
Yeah.
Because our thoughts will likely change. And so we want to kind of capture this beginnings of, what the heck is going on kind of thing.
Absolutely. And I mean,
want me to hold?
Oh no, I got this guy. That I'm actually really enjoying this change of formatting here.
Yeah, it's nice.
That we do need a stabilizer, maybe a light mount on here, but you guys can't tell that but this is nice. This is good. Obviously
Adam's
this is gonna be
talking about
different.
the GoPro right now.
I love the GoPro. Sure. In case you're wondering, I want the GoPro Hero 8 Black with the media suite, and that would be lovely, but that's not right in the tables right now.
So what are your thoughts about the corona stuff from the beginning?
Well, my thoughts come explicitly from one place, and that's the grocery store. And Gabby could attest to this. I have been going to the
walk on the stable ground?
That sounds so lovely.
Adam's been walking on the curb for
You were right on the edge of the stable ground, though. You weren't inviting me in.
Anyway.
I have gone to the grocery store so many times in the last couple weeks, partially out of being fascinated by it, but also just every couple days we seemingly have new things happening and developments. So I'm always like, okay, keeping an eye on this of like, hey, I know there's going to be more and more things coming, which means things get tougher and tougher to find at times. So I'm like, okay, I want to make sure we're good, that we're not missing anything. Like, hey, do we have orange juice? Do we have toilet paper? Classic. And it's been crazy just seeing how things have kind of like deteriorated, leveled off, and then deteriorated again. It seems like every couple of days, ooh, yeah, nice little BMW, sweet, want that in the post-apocalypse world. But every couple of days it seems like we get a new piece of news. Do you want to walk this way a little further from the road?
Sure.
Or that way we get a little quieter. Every couple of days it seems like something new breaks out, which kind of breaks us down a little bit more. And then it's like
breaks us down? What do you mean?
Well, like there's seemingly like a new stressor. We hit a new normal for a day or two.
Yeah.
Like last week schools closed.
Right.
Gatherings of over 50 are banned now.
Right.
Theoretically limited to 10. And then we hit like 3 or 4 days here of normal in a sense.
Right.
Now there's a stage shutdown in a lot of ways for non-essential industries.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah. So like even before this past week, it was like, as far as like I work in the schools, and I feel like everybody was talking about everything going on all over the world, and people were getting nervous. Like I definitely saw it, at home and at school. People were getting nervous about like worried about people all over the world and things coming here for where they live. But I gotta say, for me, I definitely thought it wasn't gonna like affect things here that much. And then obviously I was wrong. It's totally wrong. So now things are, then trickled down to here, and that's when, I think like all the news coming last week, it was kind of like intense. Like I felt like everyone was kind of, even if they're like handling it well, like panicking a little bit, not in like a bad way, just everybody's kind of panicking in their own way. Like we've never had to, like, I mean, I've lived in America my whole life, so we've never had to kind of deal with this type of news in our own backyard before, I feel like, right?
No, and this is, and something
during my lifetime, I guess.
No, I mean, really the last big thing like this that affected the U.S., I think was in the 1920s or in the teens. I think it was the Spanish flu, possibly. I don't know. Somebody could fact check us and leave us in the comments and say we were wrong. Oh, there's a little house we're going to be in here in a minute that we'll look at.
Yeah, but at least in our lifetime, like, I haven't felt like, like this is new for everybody who has been living here the whole time.
The only time I had a weirdly somewhat similar experience, but it was nowhere near as bad in any real way. When I was in South Africa, the Ebola broke out.
Ooh, wow.
So that was
that's scary.
Yeah, that was an unusual experience of like, ooh, here guys, if you want to see behind us, there's
people in there, so we're gonna
we're just gonna look behind here. But check out this house. I don't know what it represents or what it means. Ooh, coming around here.
Oh, there's a little sign over there.
Oh, there's a sign. Let's take a look.
Then there's actually a little cemetery gravestone.
Ooh.
Maybe we don't want to go there right now.
That's a little too real. Yeah, but so the Rogers house, roots and branches.
All right. So this is actually a family skeletal of a family house that we're looking at.
And there we are, looking, getting this. This is a really nice house. Wish we had it. Without the skeleton part. Or with the skeleton house, but filled in. Oh, wow, they have metal supports on that. Fascinating. It's a great use of taxpayers' money.
Oh, we could sit on the windowsill for a bit.
Oh, we can.
Or maybe do you think we're not allowed to sit on the windowsill?
Oh, we're allowed to sit on the windowsill.
All right. Cool.
This is cute.
We can chat here. Or lean against it, maybe.
Lean against it. So.
All right, so what else?
So, yeah, it's kind of unprecedented in that sense. I guess one of the things, what are we learning or doing in this time?
Okay, so let's see. Do you want to keep walking? Or do you want to sit?
Oh, I'm good for pausing for a moment.
Great.
It's good to give us a rest.
Okay.
And thank you.
All right, so things that we are learning or observing or noticing.
You want to keep it a little?
Okay. What do you think?
I think it's, we both have jobs that involve so many people, constantly being around them in a real way. So it's weird for us kind of to not do that. And we're both working virtually, we're both working online in a lot of ways, which is so cool because, yet again, we're seeing like there are ways to bridge those barriers. And it's good. It's one of those like, I don't think anybody would choose this, or we wouldn't choose this, at least
we wouldn't,
as our community and way to do that. But it is cool that like, okay, even distance could be overcome. But I do have to say, like, at the end of all this, I'm more and more fixated, like, how great is it going to be? Like, okay, we could go to a restaurant with friends. We could be in church together. We could go to a sports game or whatever it is. Just how different of a world that's going to be.
Yeah, I guess I mean, I definitely miss working like physically with people. I think it's really hard to work from home. So, I could feel the difference in like day one versus the end of the week, like understanding like some way to get myself organized and understanding better how to communicate with everyone, and then it's great like when you're like learning how to communicate with everybody. So I think it'll be a long road. I think I feel for like kids definitely who have to learn from home, like when all the colleges were shutting down. I like couldn't think. I was like, oh my gosh, if I was in college right now, when I went to college, I was just thinking how hard it would have been for me in every year that I went there in order to learn from online for different reasons. Like my senior year, I would have just been so bummed because then I finally did some of the more fun classes. So I've been so bummed to miss out on that, and like my senior year with my friends, or like different other years, like even like junior year, like trying to get through like the harder courses that happened during college, like trying to learn online. I'm not as great as of an online learner. Like I needed to always meet in person with my professors to really understand everything. So that would have been super hard for me. Or like in high school, learning online, oof, that would have been tough. Again, like junior year in high school, I was with some of my teachers every single day we had consultation hours, and like it was just like known that I would come to them, like pre-calc every day. Junior year, I would come to that person, to my teacher, Mrs. Thomas, and she would help me every day. So like, oof, I mean, I think people are finding innovative ways and stuff. I would have been really hard, So, but we're really the best because like obviously, well, Adam and I like see each other because we live together. But then my parents live really close, so we've gotten to see them. And actually, we got to see Adam's parents right before all of this happened. So thank goodness for that. But like we only live a couple minutes from my parents, so I've been there every day.
Yeah,
Adam's been there most days. I mean, Adam's been going to work, so I basically, have been able to. We're all working from home, so we're figuring that out, and then the rest of the day, like we're together and get to work out together when work is done, and do stretching with Kate, my sister, and do all the things that we need to do. We've been cooking together, so that's been fun. My brother has been thinking of new things to do, like what he has us do is choose a movie or like something fun that we're gonna watch like each day, so that we're something to be excited for. And so that's been interesting. We actually were talking about an interesting thing. Do you think, I wonder about your thoughts about this. So the corona, like it's scary for a lot of people, and obviously there's like huge issues, and my sister Keelan has like breathing issues and stuff, so I totally understand the reality of people who have compromised immune systems and already have breathing problems. This is scary. But I was just thinking, do you think that people's responses would be different if the effects of this, like the virus, were like causing physical deformities?
Oh, absolutely. It'd be so much more radical because you'd be. Yeah. Although to be fair, I think they're looking, the disease does compromise your lung capacity long
term, right?
Yeah, but you don't see that, so it's tougher to tell.
No, but I was thinking that because like even now we're at the park and people are definitely being respectful. They're keeping their distance, and it's not like crazy.
And we're part of the problem.
Well, no, we're keeping our distance from people. Yeah. But people are keeping their distance. But I was thinking if this whole thing like caused like really like physical deformities and like people to be uglier, like, we would not see anyone right now.
That'd be an interesting.
People would not be outside. They would not be messing around with any of these rules, right?
No, but we're messing with the rules too.
I'm saying, would you, if it was really gonna potentially like?
Well, but now we could have our lungs hurt.
Be uglier.
But then shouldn't we be inside right now then though?
Well, I'm saying if it was like publicized that this whole thing could like cause you to be uglier somehow. I don't think people right now, people are risking it to at least go to the grocery store and stuff. I don't think people would be doing that.
Well, I think you have to go to the grocery store eventually.
I'm telling you, people would make do with what is in their house way longer.
Yeah, but eventually you have to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, eventually. But I'm saying like right now, like people are going out, like we're like, all right, but I really wanted these snack foods. I'm gonna go out and get it, right?
I've gone to the
and I'm just saying.
So this is why I've been going to the grocery store.
People would not go out.
I don't know how I feel about this now.
Do you not agree?
Well, I think you'd still have to go out. I think there'd be a lot more pacing and social distancing.
That's what I'm saying. I think there would be a lot more. People would keep desperate, like separate way more.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are doing pretty good, but I think people would follow much stricter rules if they are worried about their looks being impacted by this disease.
I'm all about the quarantine, so bring it down, bring it hard, bring it fast. But no, I get what you're saying entirely. I am enjoying the slower pace of life, though. I enjoy not having many things crammed in. To be fair, I've said it before, I think, on here. I do not have FOMO in any way, so like missing out doesn't bother me. But it feels like the world is so often our schedule is packed all the time.
Yeah.
Like we both work with students, and we know their worlds are packed. We see families that are crazy packed all the time, and it's kind of exciting. Not that there's a good thing about a pandemic.
No.
But I am thinking in this, for a lot of families, this might be like for some parents and children, this might be the first time they've had family time together in a real way in a long time.
Be true.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a reason to cause a pandemic, but I wonder if there can be like, hey, during this, maybe it's the time you watched a movie with your kids and you didn't worry about something because you didn't have something to go to.
Yeah.
You had pancakes with your kids for breakfast.
Interesting.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what that is basically is God will be able to use this in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think he caused it. I think this is like no one would ever choose this.
Yeah.
All over the place. I don't think anyone would ever choose any of this. But I always believe that God can definitely use it for his kingdom, and I think that I've been praying a lot that God will transform me more in this time, transform my family, and whatever that might be. Like just that obviously there's time,
Yeah.
So I want him to use it. I never want anything to be wasted. It's like such a thing, but I have such faith that, God doesn't waste anything. So I really, continue to pray that he'll use it for me. Like I want to become more like him somehow during all of this, and that he'll use it for so many other people, and that he'll be really present for people. And there's so many hard things about this that I haven't even begun to comprehend. Like businesses being shut down, like people are so financially, they're terrified.
Yeah, it's very real.
And just people who aren't used to having like downtime, people who live alone. I can't even imagine. People who now their kids are in school at home, but they still have to work. It's just like a ton of things. So God's present during all of it. So I do hope to hear about miracles and things that he's doing even before all this is done. Like I hope people keep sharing out like what he's doing with all of that.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to look forward to.
No, I think that's true, and
yeah.
I think those are some of our initial thoughts
Those are some of our initial thoughts. And do we have any other thoughts about what this next week is going to be like?
Well, we're no, not yet. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more digital, so we'll keep you posted.
Yep.
We'll have a couple other videos during all this.
FaceTime with people. Probably going to be more proficient at Zoom by the end of all this.
Going to know Zoom real well.
Going to meet up with some peeps.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted. See you guys soon.
Love ya.
Bye-bye.